Super Bowl 52 champions, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, "Fly, Eagles, fly," as they get ready to match up with the Miami Dolphins. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he's brought down after a very nice... gain.
26 yards. That's good. For the Eagles, first down. First and 10 at the 50-yard
line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Hurts. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Throwing his Hurts. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. Oh, touchdown! Philadelphia. Dallas Goddard, 50 yards. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here comes Jalen Waddle from his end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 13. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On play action, here's Tua. And incomplete on the deep ball. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. I think even more so, You just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Now Tua. That's caught. Waddle on the left side. Touchdown! Jalen Waddle, 29 yards. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a throw here to his running back. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Hurts throw complete there to Smith. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Scott. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
11 more yards. That's good. For Eagles, first down.
They'll run with Scott. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Hurts sets up to throw it. Flushed out right. And he will find Scott on the right side, complete. Touchdown, Eagles! Boston Scott from 19 yards away. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offensive coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down? We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too. Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Waddle will return this from the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And now the rookie's free. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Miami.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Here's Hurts to throw. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
Second and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. Eluding the pressure right. Space to run past the 20. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. On first down, Hurts. And that is incomplete.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. This is caught, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Dallas Goedert with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles have moved out in front. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw is taken in by Waddle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Sanders on for the extra point. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21.
That ties the game.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency. They're trying for Rager, but it's intercepted. Nick Needham picks it off.
Oh, man, partner, this is something cornerbacks love to do, and that's... Think a quarterback. If you get a sense that they're going to throw a quick out route or a quick hitch, you can just lay back an extra yard or two, but then really put your foot in the turf and drive on the football. And here I think he baited the quarterback into the throw and made it pay off.
After the turnover, it's Tua. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result. When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Hurts fumbles it.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. But I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a 1st down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Waddle now to return it. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they do have terrific starting field position, but no timeouts to work with, so they'll need to operate quickly. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And the Eagles are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Now, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. From the 44, Hurts. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. They go play action with Hurts. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, they were going for the big strike right there, but this just terrific coverage by the defense in the end zone.
And what helps being a safety in this spot is the back line of the end zone. Defensive back coaches always preach. That's an extra defender because you know that they can only run so far. They can't run past you out of the back of the end zone. Then you know you can't be beat over the top. It gives you a chance to go make a play.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they really won't have much time to work with. Just 19 seconds showing on the clock. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And now a timeout defensively after that 1st down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. Second down and 8. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's got some space here. There he goes right side. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So they grab the lead just before half with a clock reading 0-0-0.
How about snatching things right at the end and grabbing a little bit of control? What a great way to go into the locker room. It's similar to a boxer flurrying in the last 30 seconds of a round and stealing the round. Great job.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and they will take a 7-point lead. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you to our EA studios in Orlando. Here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Waddle will return this from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Now on 2nd and 13, Tua. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Another run with Gaskin. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Here's Gaskin. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. And even 100 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run now with Gaskin. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. Flush to his right. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
He's got Fuller. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
This is Gaskin on the carry. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Parker. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. They'll try and run for it. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the fourth down conversion. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Right back to him on first down. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Escape, and a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack there by Brandon Graham coming in and bringing him down to the ground.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Sanders' kick is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. A tougher task for them now. That turnover on their last possession led to the field goal, meaning that they have to now try to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.